there they are. Oh, I'll be taking these.
What's up, you fealty gamers? I hope you're having a good day, and welcome to this video, a review of Trover Saves the Universe, created by Justin Roiland, the co-creator of Rick and Morty, one of the most funniest TV shows that's kind of out there. This game is made by Squanch Games and Gearbox Publishing. The game costs $30 if you want to buy it at full price, or if you're someone like me that's lucky enough to still have a Gamers Club at Best Buy, you can get the 20% off, and it is amazing. But as always with these reviews, I buy the games myself. I'm not really known enough in the world to get them handed to me, but I don't plan on ever really just taking a free game. I would like to buy them and really be able to just say, you know, no one can kind of control what I feel or think about a game. Now, in this game, I have plenty of thoughts that are great, and there are some worrisome experiences. I'm going to try and go through them, and I'm going to try and show you as many of the situations as I can to kind of show you where my thoughts are coming from on this and what's kind of happened in the experience. I want to definitely be able to provide you with some explanation and some backstory and everything about the game so that you can better choose if you'd like to spend the money on the game. Now, luckily, it is a $30 title, but I do think it does live up to that $30 cost and is a worthwhile game with this cost, with everything I've experienced, to have on your games list. Now, when you're playing through the game, you will realize this isn't just a normal game. This is definitely a game that is made for VR, but has enough stuff in it to make it a very good regular game to play. You get to control your companion and do all the things you would do in a normal game, such as moving around, exploring, attacking things, as you would in a normal game, but you do have some VR aspects where your character can interact with the world, solve puzzles, move things around, and really become a part of the experience. As you're playing through it, you'll get some upgrades, get some new abilities, and it does make the gaming experience more fun with more ability to search around and experience the world around you. As you're going through it, you'll start to notice that the exploration is a lot of fun. The worlds are definitely nice and filled with just stunning things to look at, but what you will notice first is that Justin Roiland, living up to his name and what you've experienced probably with Rick and Morty or anything he's kind of worked on, the characters are very unique and very interesting with all the things that they will shock you by saying. You can play in this game with it set to not be as racy, but I definitely, for myself, I'm grown, I have no worries. I'm playing with the completely unfettered Justin Roiland experience, and it will shock you, make you laugh, make you maybe a little bit queasy at times, but it will be something you have never experienced before, probably in your gaming life, because you really can tell when he makes something, when he writes something, when he makes a character, he just has no walls up. Whatever he thinks and whatever he wants to do just goes out there and just does a thing. It is what it is. So these characters will say some of the funniest stuff you would ever experience, for sure. Another interesting thing is that quite often when these characters are talking and saying things, if you do wait around, there's these just great gems of conversation that do start unfolding, and it really makes it so fluid, and it makes it so much more realistic in the fact of what they're saying to each other, how much actual dialogue is happening between the characters, and the emotions that are conveyed in the way they're saying these things to each other. It's really as if they're having a real conversation. It keeps on going until you finally maybe click the button that you need to click, or they do get to a point where they just get annoyed with you and are like, let's go, let's just, let's go. And then you kind of know, all right, the dialogue's over. They didn't record anything new, but golly, they already recorded a lot. So I definitely recommend be patient, and, wait. Maybe when there's a dialogue part, because you might experience some interesting things after they're done talking, and it'll give you a good laugh, and it's definitely worth the wait. As you're playing through, though, with this humor, there are some upsides and downsides to it, because even though these characters say some of the most shocking things to each other, there are aspects where it does seem like the writing of the game and the creation of the game is, I think for a better term, taking the piss out of you as the gamer. And it can be taken as fun if you're into that, but maybe if you're not, it might become a little bit frustrating over time. So there are situations where you might get a puzzle, per se, and it's not solvable. It will probably never be solvable no matter what you do. It's just not going to be solvable. And even at the point where I got to one of these puzzles, I eventually did decide, yes, I did Google to see how it would be solved, just because I just wanted to kind of complete the game, you know, for purposes of the review. And you find out online, yes, it is a new game, so maybe just someone hasn't found the solve yet. But from what I'm seeing on Reddit and everything, it's just not a solvable kind of puzzle. But as you're doing that, you do notice that your companion is sitting there saying, come on, man, let's just go through, and they're giving you a hint that you don't have to finish. Now, that happens maybe once, and, you know, there's situations where it happens in a different type of way, and it can get a little bit frustrating when you start to feel like, all right, is this going to be happening for the rest of the game? Am I going to keep on running into situations where I'm going to have to keep on asking myself, are you taking the piss out of me, game dev? Like, is this really what's happening? Like, I love you for the story. I love you for the experience. I love you for the visuals. The gameplay is pretty solid, but do you have to play a joke on me? I mean, I gave you $30 for you to play a joke on me. I think that there might be some situations where it might not be appreciated, that you kind of want to just be like, I just want to play your game and enjoy it and appreciate it, without it having to stop for like 5-10 minutes of me sitting here trying my hardest to continue enjoying and playing your game, but you're playing a joke on me. So I could see how that might be a little bit frustrating, and it did make me have some partial feelings of, ah, man, why you gotta do that? How about we don't? Then on top of that, the way that you interact sometimes as your character in the chair with certain puzzles that are in the game, it can be a little bit daunting without the VR aspect, the three-dimensional aspect, to see kind of where you might be moving a piece or whatnot. So some of the puzzles do feel like you are fighting kind of the mechanics, but it's an understandable fight, at least in that case. So it's not enough to really kind of ruin the experience. It's just a little bit wonky and a little bit of a roadblock in the timing of what you're experiencing. But the game worlds are so stunning, and the things that the characters keep on saying and talking about continue on so long and just keep the game feeling kind of fluid and fresh, so that's really not as much of a worry. So these two things so far, it's kind of like a but not really enough to be game breaking. So as you're kind of going around exploring, your companions fighting the monsters while you're controlling them, and they're fighting monsters, and you're doing all these puzzles, and you're solving everything, and maybe you take 40 minutes in the world to kind of find every little hidden piece in it. Then you get to the end, you go back to your ship where you're supposed to get a phone call, and you do start running into maybe a glitch here and there, and in one world especially, you get to the ship, and there's a chance where it's just gonna completely not load the next conversation, and just will not let you progress in the game, and no matter how much of that world you complete, it doesn't reload it, so you end up having to completely restart the board, and at this time, it starts feeling like you are on a much more inclined hill than you kind of thought. So you're dealing with the jokes being played on you, you're dealing with the puzzle wonkiness a little bit, and there are some glitches in the game that are still not game breaking, but really just enough to kind of kill that fluid momentum that you're feeling in the game. But really, with everything that shines in this game, such as the storyline, the characters, and the gameplay when it's working, which I didn't really experience any issues in the open world and the exploration. There really wasn't any experiences there, but it does start waning on you everything else, and it does kind of ruin that progression. For me, for a $30 title, this is definitely a solid game to keep on the games list. worthwhile $30 to spend for the experience. You are definitely getting to experience what would be a movie that you're getting to be a part of. And if you have it in VR, it's an even better and more wild experience where you're getting to do so much of what's in a real game in a VR game. It's not just a game that's kind of a basic VR game. It's definitely VR 2.0, where you're playing a real game. It just happens to be in VR, and that's really awesome. What they've done here with this game in bringing in such unique story and such unique characters from Justin Roiland, and then bringing in such unique gameplay into the VR space, and then even also into the regular game space where you are doing something different than you would do in a normal game, with aspects of normal games in there. It's really so unique that it keeps it worth it. It keeps that $30 cost very reasonable, and I'm sure in time with the fixing to the glitches, it's going to be that game that I think everyone will feel very fulfilled in completing and experiencing. Definitely not something that I feel that you need to wait till it's on sale. In cases like that, I feel for myself, I'd have to say will be in cases where there is a maybe game-breaking glitch in there, or just so many non-game breaking glitches that it's just every single board you're feeling you're fighting the glitches. Whereas in this, yeah, you might be fighting against some of the jokes they play on you and a little bit of the wonkiness since it is a VR game working as a regular game, but that really isn't enough to be like, just wait for it to be less money. So they really were spot on the cost for the game, and with all the story that's in it, with all the worlds that's in it, with all the exploration you're going to be able to do to kind of just get everything unlocked, to experience what they're calling the super ending or whatnot that he keeps on mentioning to you, that you want to find everything to get this crazy wild ending. It is definitely a worthwhile experience and something that you'll be able to crack out whenever you want, just for a little bit of gameplay or just for a full-on gameplay experience. So I don't have really a rating system yet, but I'm gonna rate it a Rick out of a Morty, and it's up to you on what you think from what I've said and what you've seen, if you want to buy it for yourself. But for me, my advice is, why not? If you've got $30, pick it up. Thank you for watching this review. Please click like if you enjoyed it. Click dislike if you feel like it was horrible. I can't blame you. Please do, though, if you click and like or dislike, leave a comment with your thoughts. Maybe if I got something wrong, or if I got something right, or if there's something I missed, let me know in the comments. I really, aside from making video games, aside from making videos that hopefully you enjoy, I really want to start up a conversation, get to know my fellow gamers out there, and really just, make some friendships and just hang out and enjoy the gaming content together. So thank you for watching. There should be another video tomorrow, but if not, go follow me on Twitter or join in Discord. I post there every time I'm going to either post a video, or if maybe work and school's too long that day, if I'm going to have to wait a day, because there's just not enough hours in the day, sadly. But I'll let you know on there, or on those two platforms. If you want, please do join there. And also you can follow on Instagram. I do post random pictures from time to time, my guinea pig, food, tech stuff, or just gaming moments. It's kind of cool if you want to join there, if you like that platform, if you would. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one if you come back. You have a good one. Bye, 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 bye.
Like, comment, subscribe, and follow if you dare.